Most people think they're tired because they work too much. But what if you're exhausted because you're running away from who you're supposed to become? Pause for a second. Not from this video, from your life. Because this story is not about motivation. It's about avoidance. And that's much harder to face. In a quiet American city lived a man named Ethan. From the outside, his life looked acceptable. Not impressive. Not terrible. Just acceptable. A stable job. A modest apartment. Bills paid. Weekends free. Nothing was wrong. And that was the problem. Every morning, Ethan stood in front of the bathroom mirror, brushing his teeth, staring at his reflection. And every morning, he felt the same invisible pressure in his chest. Not sadness, not depression, something quieter. Disappointment, but not in life. In himself. Psychological interruption number 1. If someone asked Ethan how he was doing, he would say, "I'm fine." And technically, he wasn't lying. But fine is the most dangerous word in the human language, because it convinces you to tolerate a life you were meant to outgrow. Ethan's days repeated themselves with mechanical precision. Wake up to an alarm that felt more like a warning. Scroll his phone before his feet touched the floor. Rush through traffic. Sit in meetings that drained him without challenging him. Come home tired but restless. At night, he watched shows he didn't care about. Not because they were entertaining, but because they kept him from thinking. Thinking was uncomfortable, because thinking reminded him of the version of himself he used to be. Years ago, Ethan had a vision. Not a fantasy. A real, grounded vision. He wanted to build something meaningful. Create value. Leave proof that he was here. But life slowly trained him to be realistic. Security replaced curiosity. Predictability replaced ambition. And without realizing it, Ethan didn't lose his dream. He negotiated with it. Later, he said, "When things settle down, when I have more time, when I feel ready." But readiness never arrived. Psychological interruption number 2. Here's the truth no one tells you. Your mind doesn't fear failure. It fears identity change. Because becoming who you want to be means admitting who you've been is no longer enough. That night, Ethan sat on the edge of his bed, phone in his hand, lights off. He checked the time, 11:47 p.m., and suddenly a thought landed so clearly it felt like someone else said it out loud. If I keep living like this, 5 years will pass and nothing will change. Same routines, same conversations, same regrets. That thought didn't make him anxious. It made him still, because in that moment, Ethan understood something terrifying. This life didn't require courage. It required compliance. And he had been very compliant. He asked himself a question he had avoided for years. Not, "What do I want?" That question was too easy to lie to. He asked, "What am I avoiding?" The answer surfaced instantly. Discipline. Because discipline removes hiding places. Discipline forces structure where excuses once lived. It forces honesty where comfort once ruled. And comfort had become Ethan's identity. The next morning, Ethan didn't change his life. He changed his behavior. He woke up 1 hour earlier. No phone. No notifications. No noise. Just him and the work he kept postponing. The silence was unbearable. His mind raced. His body resisted. Every instinct told him to stop. This is where most people quit. Not because it's hard, but because it feels unfamiliar. The first week was ugly. Some mornings, he failed. Some days, he justified skipping. Some nights, he told himself this effort was pointless. But instead of quitting, Ethan did something subtle. He reduced the pressure, not the promise. When an hour felt impossible, he did 20 minutes. When 20 felt heavy, he did 10. He stopped demanding transformation. He committed to presence. And something shifted. Weeks passed. Ethan noticed his thoughts slowing down, not disappearing, aligning. He stopped reaching for his phone the moment boredom appeared. He stopped numbing discomfort. He learned to sit inside it. Discomfort stopped feeling. Months later, Ethan realized something that shocked him. He wasn't waiting for motivation anymore. He was operating from identity. He didn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" He asked, "Is this who I am now?" And that question changes everything. Ethan didn't suddenly become famous. He didn't escape struggle. But he earned something most people never do. Self-trust. He kept promises to himself. even small ones, and small promises kept daily. Reshape the nervous system, reshape confidence, reshape destiny. One morning, Ethan stood in front of the same mirror. Same face, same room, different presence. The emptiness was gone, not replaced by happiness, replaced by alignment. Here's the truth this story is pointing to. Comfort is not peace. It's avoidance dressed as safety. And discipline is not control. It's self-respect in action. If you're tired all the time, it might not be because you need rest. It might be because your life lacks direction. And direction doesn't come from thinking. It comes from structure. So ask yourself this, honestly. Who are you becoming by default? Because if you don't choose who you become, your habits will choose for you. And once they do, they don't ask permission. This story wasn't about Ethan. It was about the version of you that keeps watching stories like this, hoping something will change. Something already can, but only if you stop waiting and start training the person you're becoming. That's where the story actually begins.